Now we are heading towards our last panel of today, but it is indeed a very interesting panel. We are going to have all women panel. The topic will be transitioning into leadership, women educators as spearheads in education space. Gracing this panel, I would like to invite Supriti Katkar, Principal Redcliffe School, Thane, as moderator. A big round of applause for ma'am, please. Professor Raj Salunke, Chairman, Shraddha Group of Education, Solapur. Dr. Rupali Dhamdhire, Principal, Trinity International School and Junior College. Can we have a round of applause, please? Shikha Tripathi, Principal, Orchid, the International School, Pune. Diksha Kalyani, Director, the Kalyani School, Pune. Can we have a big round of applause, please?
Okay, good evening, everyone. शिक्षा ही स्वरूप बनाती, शिक्षा ही राह दिखाती, शिक्षा दीपक की वो लो है जो राज खोलती दिल का सारा। शिक्षा लिख फलसफा तकदीर का, बहा देती अमृत की धारा। शिक्षा रही है मानव की धरोहर, शिक्षा पवित्र जैसे मानसरोवर। To appreciate the best poetry, it helps us to understand the basics and to familiarize ourselves with the common symbol of the literature. Same goes for education. To appreciate and nurture young minds, it helps to understand the basics. And who else can do it better than a mother, a teacher? She rejoices in God with a grateful heart and a joyful spirit. She possesses the ability to genuinely says to a child, I admire your qualities and attributes. She is blessed with the gift of giving and willingness to help others. She speaks with words of wisdom. She remains determined to be the best teacher. She smiles every time she makes you wise. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I am Mrs. Supriti Katkar, Principal, Radcliffe School, Thane. With high expectations and deep commitment, I welcome you to this intriguing session on transition into leadership, women educator as spearhead in education. When we talk about transition, every transition is a discovery. Discovery of understanding the opportunities that we will be going through. Adjustments to build something new. Today, we will be discussing on transition that we are all in midst of. We are witnessing a transition in leadership in education system. Women who had been at the backstage have now started spearheading the education space. To me, it's natural, very normal. In fact, it's the divinity's call. However, women are underrepresented in leadership positions across multiple sectors, including politics, healthcare, and almost all businesses. The positive impact of having a woman leadership position have been well documented. For instance, in rural India, having a woman at a head of the municipal council is associated with an improvement in provision of public benefits such as adequate drinking water and having good roads. We understand that during the woman taking up the lead, in whichever centers it has happened, there is lower death rates during the COVID and less of hospitalization. The evidences of women being the best has been there. It also seeks to draw an attention to the low representation of women in school leadership roles and the barriers that hinder women's access to these positions. Today's session will have a great insight as we have the plethora of intellectuals with us. Professor Raj Salunke, Chairman Shraddha Group, Dr. Rupali Dhamdhire, Principal, Trinity International School and Junior College, Shikha Tripathi, Principal, Orchid International School, Diksha Kalyani, she is the Director of Kalyani Schools, And Anit Arora, I believe, is not coming today. Yes. To begin with, let me invite you on the dais, Honorable Professor Raj Solanki. A warm welcome to you, sir. When I was going through your profile, I found that you have taken up a mission to provide modern education with a focus of Indian values and culture. So how do you get women leadership connected over there is a thought that I want you to work upon.
Good evening, all of you. Actually, history says that woman has proved herself in number of sectors. We have progressed a lot, being as a human being. Still, this stage or the dais is need to elaborate such kind of subjects, such kind of titles. We know that the woman is very powerful leader. For example, we have seen the Lady Prime Minister Indira Gandhi. She was a impactful Prime Minister of India. Woman is not only a leader, she is a creator of leader. We know Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj has created Maratha Empire because of only Jizaú. Previous of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, there was number of Bhosles. There are number of people who are trying to do different kind of things. But only Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj could able to establish the empire because the leadership of Jizaú was there. So I feel that in 2020, in the era of technology, we should come up with women and men are same in leadership. The transition has been done previously only because women come up with his powerful leadership and she proved number of times. So she will be the impressive leader in education as well as other fields. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Am I audible? Thank you, sir. That was indeed historical. We understand that what sir is talking about is that yes, woman has been into kingmaker's role, and now when we talk about leadership in active schools, we want our leaderships, our women folk to come forward. Ma'am, I would like you to emphasize on the best practices to promote as women empowerment.
When we're talking about women empowerment, I would definitely say that women are already empowered. The perception of empowerment needs to change, right? Like we say that we very proudly say that women are stronger and they need to have equal rights and they need to. But what is our perception of being stronger? Because I feel women are already strong. So it's not that they have become stronger or they are all going to become stronger or we have started looking at them as stronger, side of the gender, but they've already been stronger. And women in the field of education at a position, definitely they would get more, harmony in the system. They would look at it with more empathy. By saying this, I am not saying that men are less empathetic, not at all. I'm not trying to differentiate between the gender here. But yes, in the man's world, the perspectives generally differ because they are more, focused towards the end result, or they are more hardcore into the process. But a woman would always be a little softer because of the kind of, the person that she is. The only difference here in when we're talking about gender is she gives birth. So when you give birth, it changes, the woman changes, she knows, and that is why she can be a little more softer and more empathetic. So I think that is what she would get to the table, a more, understanding of the entire process. Because when you're dealing with school, you're dealing with children, you're dealing with lives. It's life product that we are looking at. It's not something that can be handled tomorrow. It is something that is today, and it is very, very important because you're creating future with that. So when she is looking at that as a whole, so she would have maybe a different perspective always, I would feel, when she is dealing with that. So having more women leaders would get us to build maybe, a more sympathetic and a better world tomorrow, is what I feel. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. That was quite insightful. What we understand is when we talk about women leadership coming into educational space, we are looking for somebody who can have empathy with us, somebody who can understand that women are actually more than anyone else around. When it comes to nurturing young minds, it's natural for a woman to do it. And when we look into the school sphere, we want our leaders to take a step ahead, to ensure that each member of their school, let it be the students, let it be the teachers, let it be the felicitators, not teachers, I'm so sorry, or the parents, each member is empowered to understand that woman is an important aspect of the society. Ma'am, I would like you to tell me something like ways to encourage women to take up leadership roles.
Good evening all. First of all, thanks to the organizers for this event and yes, giving opportunity to be here on this platform and on wonderful topic of the day. I would say this would be the first topic, but unfortunately this is the last one. We have limited time, like women's in leadership. मैं नारी हूँ नारायणी, मैं सर्व गुण संपन्न श्रद्धामयी, मैं चाहूँ तो पल भर में खुशियाँ लहराऊँ और यदि चाहूँ तो पल भर में तूफान बन जाऊं. ये शक्ति होती है, ये नारी की शक्ति है, नारी की पावर है. And we need to understand that. And still after so many years of independence, if we are talking about why women are less in numbers in topmost positions, that is still a question mark. Still many more sessions have been done before this, many more workshops, many more awareness programs regarding women's leadership. Still we are very less in number. If we can see in the classroom, we have very less number of girls in comparison to boys. In offices, less number of females in comparison to males. Why this is happening? We need to understand this. So, we need to understand what power, what Shakti we have in women. Long back, in our childhood, we have seen that serial Shaktiman. So, Shaktiman was a man who was having all those Shaktis and power in him. It's because he was having those all chakras, jo chakra hai, to make that activated. So this is what woman is already having. As ma'am said, there is no need of empowerment of women. Woman is already very strong, very positive. But woman is sensitive as well. So this is the need of the hour to understand that yes, we have the power and we need to educate, we need to make aware everyone. Ma'am, sorry, the question I forgot in these many lines. The question was?
What I wanted everyone in this panel to understand and talk about is, yes, we talk that woman is powerful. We talk that we are powerful, yes. But when we are sitting in one of the panels and we are discussing about where we have schools in mind, and I'm sorry to say, we discuss POSCO very easily, and along with that, POSH is being discussed in our society itself. So when we talk about empowerment, and if I say that a woman is so empowered, then why do I need to have POSCO at all?
Yes.
Why do I need to have POSH at all? We have these. Let us accept, let us work towards making our school system so strong. Our boys, our children, our sons, our daughters so strong to understand, yes, we are equal. As a woman leader in schools, it is our responsibility to ensure that we create an environment where everything is equal. It's good to talk in an urban society when we say everything is equal, but the moment you open your newspapers, you'll come across so many things. I'm sorry, I'm differing from what you just now said, that we are empowered. But I'm not only me over here, 5 of us or 10 of us or 20 of us. It is the whole India that we are talking about. We are talking about the rural areas also. So when we want us to discuss in schools, remember, whatever we talk will be printed, will be going across all schools, all principals trying to be, take something out of it. So I want all of us to work on it. What we as women, who are the natural nurturers, who have the natural ability to take care of the students, to give them the wisdom. So what we as women leaders are taking care in the school arena. Ma'am, would you please answer this?
Yeah, good afternoon. I think today's topic is very important, but probably education is one field where we feel and where we see that women are empowered, at least in urban cities and in private schools. The scenario is very different to what it is, let's say, in government schools or in rural areas. So in our panel discussion today, where the focus is more and the audience is more of private school sector, I would like to focus on the fact that yes, we see a majority of women working in schools, both as teachers and as the audience shows. I think there's one gentleman there and one here they're completely oh, sorry, I couldn't see behind. Completely outnumbered. So that is the case. And I feel at times that is a very good thing, because this kind of role modeling in schools is good, because it is very important for young girls who are studying in school to see that there is such a large working population of women, that there are women in important roles who are running schools, who are doing so many different things in a school setup. They are multitasking continuously. So I think the most important role a woman teacher plays in a school scenario is the role modeling that she does. And ma'am talked about empathy and also all those kind of things are seen by all the students. And even when boys see that, there are women working hard to teach them, to help them grow, to nurture them, they realize that women play an important role. And here there's a dichotomy. They could be from families where women are not treated well at home. If they see one side of the coin only at home, but at least in school they are getting to see strong women, strong teachers, strong leaders. They see another side, and they learn to respect women. They learn to look up to them, and they realize that women have an important role to play in their lives.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. That was really interesting. When we are in the transition phase, we understand that yes, over here the majority feels that woman is very strong in the leadership, school leadership already. And I want to bring in a point that 2020 NEP talks about women leadership very strongly. So I would request any one of you to come up and tell me how exactly NEP 2020 and women empowerment works together, where we want NEP 2020 to be established in our schools. So what exactly is NEP 2022-2020 talking about the women empowerment? And how do we implement in our pedagogy?
The NEP 2020 basically talks about experiential learning and skills. So when they're talking about skills, they're talking about all types of skills, and there is no gender bias in the skills, right? So they are talking about skills, even something like carpentry, plumbing, and all these things also, wherein till date, I think, whether we talk about urban or rural, there is a gender bias who is into doing something as simple as plumbing. We think it's simple, but then we think that this is a man's job and this is a woman's job. So there, I think NEP is trying to get things together. There, NEP is trying to see that everybody is at the same level. There, NEP is trying to see that whether in a rural scenario or in an urban scenario, everybody is at the same level, and no job is looked down upon, and no job is gender biased job, wherein they're trying to get things together. They're trying to see that a girl equally to a boy, or a boy equally to a girl, gets that kind of exposure and that kind of education. So I'm just giving one example of skills, but there is a lot more to the NEP. We all know it's a very detailed and a very exhaustive document, but this is something very simple, and what everyone, I think, would agree on, that it majorly talks about upskilling and giving them the basic skills, and talks about skilling, and wherein they have a lot of phases in between, wherein there is a lot of entry and exit points also. So this is done keeping in mind the entire country together, as in also the urban and mostly the rural setup, wherein there would be dropouts majorly for the girls also, because of various reasons and things like that. So I think the NEP here is coming up with these things, which emphasizes on.
When we talk about the school dropouts, do you think that women leadership can somewhere stop this in schools?
Yes, it would. Why? Because when you have a woman leader, she would definitely understand the constraints. Now, something as simple as not having separate washrooms for girls, which is something that is prominent in the rural areas, and then girls either missing schools and slowly dropping out of schools. So if there is a woman headmaster there, she would definitely understand the concern, and she would be the first one to work on it, because she understands the gravity of the problem. Then maybe, of course, I'm not saying a male member would not, but the kind of attention that she would give that problem, though how minor it may feel, but yes, that is one major concern when it comes to rural areas.
Thank you so much. That's the answer I was looking forward for. It is when women come into the leadership power, when woman is in the leadership in the school arena, she will ensure that every student is taken care. The personal thing when I talk about empathy is when it is the woman who will understand what is required. So thank you, ma'am, aligning with the thought that I was trying to bring in over here. My question to any one of you who can just tell me about how you, being a woman, would like to have something done about when we are talking about NEP, something done about when we are talking about skill development. Yes, we need to have the skill development done for our children. We need to have them understand that, yes. But why is the skill development is being done? Is because we are looking forward for employability. So what exactly you, being a woman leader, and you having so many women leaders in your campuses, would like to do so that we ensure that each of my child, no matter whichever gender they belong to, each of my child is having some kind of employability created. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I very strongly feel that this is one of the most important aspects of the NEP that we need to focus on, because traditionally we all felt ki you have to be 10th pass or 12th pass to, get a job or go out into the world and make something of yourself. But there are many people who have school leaving certificates or even degrees, but they don't have jobs, and that is only because they have a paper which says that they have studied till a certain level, but they don't have any skill to actually be a skill to use in a job. So I think from a very young age, it's very important, of course, to develop the basic skills, but also to understand what the interests of a child are, what the aptitudes, interests, and abilities of a child are, and help them understand those, and show them the correct path to reach a job level which will give them satisfaction. I think the most important thing in getting a job is to find that you're happy doing it. So job happiness is very important, and you have to nurture those interests and aptitudes from a young age, so that when they go out into leave school and college, they know what they want to do and they get happiness from that.
Yes, thank you so much, ma'am. Anyone would like to add on?
I agree to what ma'am is saying. Yeah, I agree to what ma'am said, that the skilling, and I already put it in my previous point, that even if they are dropping out, like she said, something that can get them employability, and if it can get them employability, then immediately your equality and other things come into place. So definitely. And when you have a woman leader in place, obviously she would look at the minutest things also, and also take care of her fellow colleagues who are going through different phases in their lives. Maybe they are coming and working, but as women we know that she plays so many roles. So there is a lot of up and down in her life that is going on, and a woman leader would definitely want to pitch in and want to help her at that particular stage in her life. So I think it contributes in a better manner when she's out there and she is there to help them. So automatically she's uplifting the entire community there, and also setting an example for the generation that's coming up.
Yes. Thank you so much, ma'am. When we talk about transition in leadership, we are understanding it's a phase where we are having a lot of intriguing thought process going on. We are trying to be introvert, understand what exactly is going on, what are the things that we need to leave, what are the things that we need to add on. The previous session that we had was also, we were discussing about the different ways, methodologies that we need to use. There we touched upon the skill development. Right now we are taking this further about the skill development. When we talk about skill development, what we think about is the research skill, we think about the presentation skills, the speaking skills, but we also need to have it connected with the employability aspect as well. And for that, I feel it is important for all the leaders, school leaders, irrespective of whatever position you are having, we need to have our students introduced to different professions. There has to be a conscious thought process done from all of us, that we create some kind of internship for our students, maybe from grade 8 onwards, so that they start understanding, they start thinking in those lines. Like we have journalism, we have medical, we have engineering. These are the normal ones that we come across, but there are so many other fields that our students should be allowed to think in and start working about. So internship is one of the ways of understanding and getting NEP in place. That is what is our skill development program is all about. When we talk about school leadership, and we are finding this change coming up, that just from being rote learner, we have now, the teachers are no more the teachers, we want them to be felicitators, right? We want to create an environment where every student is nurtured. I was going through the profiles of each one of you and I found the common strand that was talking about that we all are child-centric. Now, when it has come that we need to think in terms from the child's perspective, can we have accountability or ownership of studies, of their learning given to our students? Can we do this? Yes, ma'am, would you like to answer? Can we give the ownership of their studies to the students and move it from the teachers? Like if at all the result is not good of particular subject, we usually call the teachers and find out what exactly went wrong. So can we give that ownership of their learning to our students is the question that I want.
Definitely, it's very, very important in this situation when we are giving ownership. So this is how it can be done by giving volunteer teaching. That is one of the concept. There are few topics in the curriculum where teacher can assign students and they can even select their own topic from the given chapter. They can prepare and they can come in front of the class and they will present that topic. That is what the volunteer teaching. That is what they will do in front of their own friends. And meanwhile, when they will speak and they will listen, they will learn the topic. Next, what we can have several new activities like role play method. That is what they will role play of some, famous personalities or whatever given in the curriculum, the topic given in the syllabus. So they will role play that. There are project presentations already given in the syllabus in CBSE as well. So as per the project presentations, when child is speaking in front of audience, in front of class, so in that way also the mentorship is given to the child and this is helping the teaching part of the teaching. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. Anybody wants to add on to this? Yes, ma'am.
The child has to take the onus of their studies, and it should not be done only after you get your results. It has to be a continuous process. It has to be a continuous process right from the beginning, from the first day of school till you think they are prepared for the exam. So after, it has to be on a very regular interval wherein the children, they are called after maybe every chapter or every unit or things like that, an evaluation, a feedback from the children, from the teacher, because it's not right directly to blame the teacher if the result is not good, nor you can say that the teacher taught well but the children didn't perform. So what went wrong? There's no point discussing that after the result is out. If it is a continuous process, then you won't have that discussion. So I think it's always important to have a continuous process rather than reflecting upon it towards the end.
Yes. Actually, what will happen, the burden of that PTM that we were discussing will not be there. Just recently at Ratcliffe School, Thane, that where I belong to, we had a student-led conference where students were sitting with their parents and discussing about what are the skills that they have developed, what are the gray areas that they need to work upon. And so the teacher was sitting just next to over there and listening to what are the things done. The parent is very happy. There is no conflict between the teacher and the parent. We were all were on the same side, and the student explaining us and feeling good about it. So this is one initiative that we have taken in. I would also like to understand from each one of you, we are running short of time, only 7 minutes left. If each one of you can tell me what is the innovation that you have brought in your area of work, in your schools, that you are proud of. Each one of you.
Is this in regards to women or in general?
In regards to women, because whatever you do, as you are doing as a woman only, so that always, that remember this thing, I'm so sorry to all the male members sitting over here, innovation and वो जो कहते हैं सृजन हम ही से होता है.
At least we realized that especially in the last 2 years, there was so much.
Sorry.
That's okay. In the last 2 years, there was so much pressure on women, especially teachers, because it was very different scenario for them to be working from home, trying to teach, look after their own families, as well as, make lesson plans which were IT enabled, look after 30 to 40 students online at one time, sometimes even more. So the whole scenario was very different, and that's when we realized as a school that for us looking after our teachers was something that very important for us to do. And in the last 2 years and now beyond in this last 1 year, we've put in a lot of efforts in nurturing our teachers and increasing their happiness quotient, because if the teacher is happy, the students will be happy.
Yes, that's very important. As a leader, as a woman leader, we understand what we go through in the morning before we come to the school, and we understand what exactly my teacher might have also gone through. So we do take care on that part. Yes, ma'am.
Adding on to this is, as I would say that happy schools are great schools. So happiness quotient is very important, whether it is a school or it's a workplace. So happiness at the rate workplace is also very, very important. So what I have done in my previous school, not I have just started this new organization. So in my previous school, I have just started one Sanskar Shala. So in that, what I found as a leader, since so many years, my observation was, even if newcomers or new joinees, the candidates who are coming for the interviews, these grown-up children, even if small children also from pre-primary, what I observed that there is something which is lacking behind is what? The values and etiquettes. Because what I remember in my childhood, my mother used to train me, like, beta, when you are picking a phone and, because at that time we didn't have mobiles. So when you are picking up the phone, so what you will say कि uncle ठीक है, पापा नहीं है, जो मैसेज हो आप दे दीजिए, आई विल कन्वे टू हिम कि गुड इवनिंग अंकल या नमस्ते अंकल, जो मैसेज हो आप दे दीजिए, आई विल कन्वे दिस टू माई फादर. Nowadays, what happens when the child is picking, even if the child is not picking up the call, he is disconnecting because he is busy in games or something else in his activities. So what the child does, he is picking up the call, hello, kaun? Okay, nahi mama nahi hai. That's it, he disconnects. So there are various ways where I have personally observed that there is a need of our to train them the values and etiquettes, whether to keep the hands in the pockets when you're talking to your seniors, or whether to stand when your senior is there and give the place. So there are many, many more things in etiquettes and value regards, how to talk, how to stand, how to sit, how to even behave. There are many more which I have done in my previous school and still I will do in my present one also. That's it. Thank you.
I think just being there for them and seeing to it that they are happy, because like we said that, you rightly said that we also go through something and then we come at a workplace. But if you're an observant leader, you will definitely see that the spark in a teacher's eyes is missing today, though she's come to work. Maybe she's gone through a difficult morning, or maybe she's going through a difficult phase. So a slightest, maybe just a one sentence to her and a pat on her back or something, maybe those are the little things and the little gestures that definitely gives her that energy and makes her feel taken care of. So I think these small things, if we take care of, we will definitely have better and happy places, eventually happy classrooms.
We use in our campus that when the teachers, lady teachers, give their efforts to develop the classes, develop the campus, develop the school. So they give their 100% and they work through their hearts. So every end of the month, we used to organize some cultural activities to motivate them, to make them feel better. And they can go with double energy to work again and again and develop the campus, develop the school, and finally the end product, which is student, they will be more happy and genius.
Thank you, sir. My example, just 1 minute, not more than that. What we have done is that we have changed the concept of punishment totally. It is no more a negative thing. Every time a student comes late from to school, we tell them that they have to give us one innovative rationale. It cannot be that the bus was late or there was congestion on the road or they left their chemistry book. No. They have to think something innovation. And for the younger ones, we told them that they have to do something like with one hand you have to make victories and another hand you have to make this and you have to repeat it. So when the parents see this, those who come to drop them, they were surprised that what exactly is this happening over here. Over a period of time, you won't believe it, I have meteor showers and Martian attacks taking place. This has enhance their creativity, their thinking powers to an extent. And the younger ones, they are making their right and the left brain much stronger. We have wisdom walls all across in our school where we want our children to think and come up. Like if at all there are students who have come up with some kind of conflict amongst them. So we ask them that you have to tell us, first of all, write down 5 points, bullet points, what exactly took place, and then write down 5 ways how you're going to evade this situation of coming to a principal's office. So it is giving them 5 options for the future. And one very important thing, being a woman in a leadership position, what I felt is that we have to be very empathetic towards our children. We have to give them and make them solutions makers rather than solution seekers. Let them find solutions and make their own solutions rather than we giving them. So the last thing that I've written, may I read it out for all of you? ज़रूरी है महिलाओं को शिक्षा की ओर अग्रसर करना, उनके स्वयं के अधिकारों के ज्ञान के लिए ज़रूरी है महिलाओं को हर एक क्षेत्र में अवसर को प्रदान करना, एक नव निर्माण के लिए. Thank you everyone. Thank you all the panelists.
Thank you so much, ma'am. You have curated the panel so well and the last lines were wonderful. Now I would like to invite Vijay Singh, Project Head, Elets Technomedia, to please come on the stage and give token of memento to our panelists. Can we have a round of applause for sir, please? First, we have Supriti Katkar, Principal, Redcliffe School, Thane. A big round of applause for ma'am. Professor Raj Salunke, Chairman, Shraddha Group of Education, Solapur. Dr. Rupali Dhamdhire, Principal, Trinity International School and Junior College. A big round of applause, everybody. Shikha Tripathi, Principal, Orchid the International School, Pune. Diksha Kalyani, Director, the Kalyani School, Pune. Can we have a round of applause for ma'am? Can we have a group picture?